Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Trap here, bringing you another replay commentary. And today we have a game between two excellent gentlemen, pro gamers. We've got none other than Flash down here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map as the purple Terran, and we have none other than Free is the red Protoss down here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. This is the map Ground Zero, which has a big, like, I don't know why I'm pointing my mouse over an empty black area there in the middle of the screen, but in the middle of the map, maybe I should do it on the mini map. In the middle of the map, there's like a big lava area with cracks in the ground. It's supposed to be like this is the battlefield after some sort of big explosion went off, I think. But in any case, it's a very interesting map. 4 spawn points and lots of open area in the middle of the map as well. So we might see some nice PvT macro going on with that. But in any case, this is Flash versus Free. I've done a couple other Flash versus Free games before, so you may have seen, and they've actually been on this map as well, but this is from a 2012 replay pack, I believe. So again, this is probably just a practice game between these two fellows, but it should be fun regardless to see these guys duke it out. Flash, of course, the greatest Terran. Free, one of the 6 dragons, one of the kind of less accomplished of the 6 dragons, I guess. You know, behind, of course, your Stork and your Bisu, and your Zhongbi being the most. But then you also have Free and Cal and Best, who you didn't quite have as much success, but were still super strong, you know? It's like Flash would have like a 98% win rate versus me. He would probably have a 55-60% win rate versus most pro gamers. And he would probably have a little bit less, maybe a 53% win rate against Free or something like that. I don't know. I'm just making that up. I don't actually know what his win rate is. But point being, like, Free is good enough that he's not favored to win, but he has a better chance of winning than most Protosses in the history of mankind. So, hello, Kakaru. Anyway, I guess the point I'm trying to make here is that I think this is going to be a pretty good match. Flash going for command center first into barracks on the high ground. I think he's going to be able to get away with this. I believe we've seen him do that on this map before, actually, as well. Or other maps. You know, it's just, if you've got a strong ramp to hold, and here he is, in fact. So now he's going to be able to make another depot and just have complete control of this ramp. Even if we saw some early pressure by Free, which we might, let's see, he's got a Dragoon on the way. This probe is running around. Actually didn't even stop to make a Zealot, it looks like. So Free trying to be very efficient here. But, you know, even if a Zealot was coming up the ramp right here, it wouldn't be able to kill anything fast enough to really stop this push. And so this is a very safe command center first, actually, by Flash. Flash loves his econ. He loves to get his econ going. And so not surprising at all to see him playing this move. I like this, making the bunker on the low ground, keeping things on the high ground, though, just in case. So if any attacks come in here, you know, he saw this base and he saw there's not much going on. His SCV has forced to retreat as well, but he saw what was going on and he knew, okay, well, you know, this looks normal, but it's feasible. Well, I guess no. If he saw the pylons, he would know there's no other gateway on the map, so never mind. But I was gonna say, like, maybe there could be something else on the map, and that's why he had to be a little bit worried. But anyway, it's just smart play to make sure that you're defended until you have the bunker up. Then you can get your defense on the low ground as well. He's getting a factory now also, so it looks like he's going to be doing pretty good. Now, what is Free doing? Okay, it looks like he's about to get a Nexus. I was like, well, he's not making anything. Okay, it's just because his Nexus is going to be late. He was saving up money for that. So that's what's going on. But Free's Nexus is going to be very, very late. And actually, this is really interesting. A little bit of a delay here. I don't know if it was on purpose to try and trick Free or something, trick Flash or something like that. But he waited until the SCV died before making the Nexus. Not sure if that was intentional or what have you. Free now moving across the map here with some Dragoons. The Dragoon range is almost finished. And once it finishes, there it goes. It finishes, he's able to start assaulting this bunker, which is going to get repaired. Very normal. You know, this is the equivalent of players kind of moving their pawns out into the middle of the map, right? It's something that just happens. It's going to happen. You're setting up for the mid game, but you're kind of like not actually going for a major attack. And I don't actually know chess that well, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that is part of a broader strategy in chess, but you know, it feels like this is just by rote. It has to happen every game. You have to have the Dragoons come in here, you have to have the bunker, the Dragoons attack the bunker, you have to repair the bunker, the tank comes out, blah, 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 and then you get to the real mid-game. But, you know, you kind of have to put that pressure on the other player while this is going on. Otherwise, you're going to fall behind. So he's stopping 3 SCVs from mining, 4 SCVs from mining. He's forcing him to spend some minerals on repairing the bunker as well. So he's slowing the enemy economy while he's building up his forces. Flash has a tank, but he's not actually employing it yet. I'm a little puzzled by this. Never mind. It's just a little bit of a slight delay. He's going to move it out here. I thought it maybe he's waiting for siege mode. Oh, he is waiting for siege mode, actually. He's not going to put it over here. A little bit smart, maybe a little bit dumb also, because putting it on this corner means that he can actually theoretically target up at it. Okay, putting it a little bit farther back is a smart move. It's going to make it hard for the Dragoons to actually focus it down. 1 shot goes out. 2 shots go down. And the Dragoons are going to fall back, except for this one. This cheeky guy's like, I can still be here. I'm not within range of that tank. So he's forced to reposition a little bit. But, you know, this is, again, a little bit risky to have this spot here. He could move the Dragoons up right here, pick off the tank theoretically. It'd be difficult because of the high ground advantage, the missed shots and what have you. But just something to think about here, especially when he has observers. If he can get an observer over here so he can get a good target on it, that'd be very handy. But Free's just going to go ahead and fall back here. No, this is what I was going to say is Free might want to double expand, and he is exactly doing that. Because Flash is now a little bit stuck here in his base. He can't really do a ton to move out just yet. Very soon he will be able to, but he's spent a lot of money on this expansion and this tech. And so he's safe with these siege tanks, but, you know, Free was able to see that he didn't have a ton of stuff. And actually, just as I say that, I didn't realize he was actually continuing to produce Marines. So he's actually got 7 Marines, a handful of tanks. He's actually bringing SCVs as well. He had the 2 factories up, so he's been able to produce a lot of tanks. And this is actually a really strong push that I was not expecting. Maybe Free could not afford to double expand after all, because Flash is now pushing out. This is a beautiful timing, and he's obviously practiced this very, very well, because this is just to a T, perfectly timed off of the expansion. Just beautiful, beautiful build here by Flash. He's actually going to move out into kind of this center area in the map. This area is like a weird... This map has like weird choke points that are like semi-choke points, but they're also pretty wide open, so it's hard to hold. But you can't build on a lot of this area here, so you kind of have to move through that area to get through the middle. I like this move by Free. He's going to bring these Dragoons around the back. He knows that Flash is going to be a little bit slow. If he can pick off reinforcements to make sure that this push doesn't get, you know, completely overwhelming, then that's going to be good for him. This is a very tight situation for Free, but we've seen Protoss on Free's caliber fend off this sort of situation before. Nice poking in there, picks off a tank, very, very well done. And it looks like Flash is a little bit in danger of this counterattack here. The bunker is empty because all of the Marines have gone to the front. He is going to be able to siege up on the top of the observers there so he can get access to the tanks. He's going to pick off the tanks as well, diving in very deep with these Dragoons, but he's getting the damage done, and this is exactly the kind of counter pressure he needs. Flash cannot really focus on pushing forward on the natural expansion because he's focused on his main base right now. Dragoons in the main. He's fighting with SCVs, and SCVs are, of course, the hard counter to Dragoons, so they are going to be able to clean up these Dragoons very, very well, especially with a couple of tanks popping out at a very slightly late but mostly opportune time. Is he actually going to get another tank? He's going to get another tank as well. Not able to repair it fast enough. He right-clicked it with all those SCVs. He's going to get another tank as well. He's not focusing on repairing the tank. Finally, the tank does get the Dragoon, saves its own self, rather than depending on the kindnesses of the SCVs to protect it. Last little cheeky extra pile on there. Oh! Nice Scarab, though. He's going to do a lot of damage there and chase things off. So Free... This is actually really, really well done by Free. He's turned this around extremely well. Flash with this perfect little push. You know, he had rallied vultures to catch up. The vulture upgrades were going to be finishing right as this push started to get embedded, as the turret was finishing, so he could plant mines behind it to protect this push as well. So beautiful, beautiful push by Flash. Just absolutely epically timed, and Free was like, you know what? I'm just going to ignore this. I'm going to push around the back, and because your push is such a perfectly timed, crisp push to push out with everything you have, that means it's everything you have. There's nothing else left behind here. And I'm just going to push in with 6 Dragoons and absolutely rampage your base and kill several tanks. several tanks with just a couple of Dragoons, and Flash had a chance too if he'd blocked this off. If he'd seen it coming, he could have blocked the ramp, sieged up on the high ground, and taken care of those Dragoons without too much problem. But he missed out on that chance, and so Free was able to do significant damage. Flash is not done yet though. Those Dragoons have been cleaned up. But in the meantime, you know, Free has gotten all 3 bases up and running, so he's kind of in a strong position. He's got his tech going, so he's got these Reavers with shuttles as well. So he's in good shape right now. He's got a couple Reavers here. But now he doesn't have anything behind the lines to stop this containment. So Flash is now going to try and contain on 2 fronts. And also trying to assault this north base. Free with these 2 shuttles is able to kind of move around enough. He's got enough mobility that he can try to... I keep seeing this splotch of red on the minimap, and it's just an observer. It's not a shuttle trying to do a drop or anything like that. But look at this full contain. He's got bunkers, 2 full bunkers, depots, turrets. This is like a wall. This is like a solid front door wall, except it's you know, it's like imagine imagine going up to your neighbor's house and like building your front patio on his front porch, and just containing him from right in his own front door. Free is really managing to block this northern part of the contain extremely well with these Reavers and Zealots. Very nicely done. The turret completes, but he's able to maneuver around it before it completes enough to get the Reavers and the Zealots on top of the tank, so he's able to break that location. Looks like Flash is just kind of leaving this wall here and saying, you know what, this is enough. I'm just going to like leave this. This is too expensive to break this spot. And so he's trying to focus on the north, but Free is actually just doing a really good job of defending the northern part of this little push as well. Curious to see if Flash is going to try and push into the natural expansion instead. He's putting down some mines here, but he may actually also just want to kind of tier his tanks up a little bit farther. Instead of going for a push and being separated from this part, he may want to kind of line his tanks and go a little bit north. That's not usually how Flash plays, so I'm gonna have it give it to Flash to probably be a better player than I am and know what the best decision is in that situation. But I just feel like Free has been able to pick off those attacks very well. Here comes Free pushing out. He's trying to break this containment. If he does, he's gonna have so much control of the map, but it's so hard to break a solid position by a Terran has. But only 3 tanks there, not enough to do all the damage necessary to kill off all these Zealots. The Dragoons are able to take out the bunkers. The Zealots get in amongst it, and it was not even a complete wall as well. So now Flash is going to lose all of those units. He's going to lose the contain. He's going to lose the depots as well. And Free has now broken out onto the map. This mine is just really wants to do some damage. Did it even? No, it didn't even land actually. He caught it first. So Free has broken free of that contain. Never took any economic damage really. Never really took too much damage to his army that he didn't trade for either actually. So very nicely done. Flash is trying to do this tiered tank line from his natural down to this 3rd base so he can kind of catch up. But there's actually even a probe there to try and stop him from getting a base. It looks like the command center is going to float over. He actually could just put a pylon there or something. Well, I guess the pylon wouldn't last long, but we'll see if that actually has any effect. But now it's Free's turn to turn the tables. And the tables have been turned, and now Flash is the one playing defense. These mines are probably not going to be enough, especially if we can get a good mine drag on. A lot of mines taking out some Zealots, but the Zealots are able to get in amongst the tanks. There's a lot of Vultures there, though, so I think the Vultures are probably going to be able to take out the Zealots. Is it going to be enough in time, though? He's only got a couple tanks to the south, so Free is going to break this position. He's now forced to split either north or south, and these tanks at the south not doing very much as Free breaks north into the natural expansion, and Flash is forced to tap out and GG and leave the game. Well done by Free. Absolutely amazing, actually, defense. Flash had like the ultimate. Look at the rubble here. You can see this beautiful defensive arc that he had. He had depots and bunkers and turrets. He had the perfect Terran static defense. Tanks behind the line, Marines in the bunkers. It looked like my front door when I'm playing like a 1v7 comps or something like that as Terran. You know, you make a huge wall, and luckily for Free, he's a little bit better than the computer AI. It doesn't just ram himself up against the wall and fall back and get confused and lose everything. But he played it really well. And Flash kept trying to push up to the north here and say, all right, well, this southern position is taken, so I'm just going to push up to north and try and take out this expansion base. If he'd been able to do that, it would have been a different story. In fact, he almost did. You know, this pylon got taken out at a certain point. Free had to make a second row of pylons to stop the forces from running up there. but he played it beautifully and just kept macroing, using the shuttles to get his crucial units like Reavers up here to defend the push, and kept macroing a giant army here until he had enough to just break out entirely and then overrun Flash's backup defensive position. So nice little game, very nice game between Free and Flash there. And I think the other games that I've casted from this pack, Flash won, and so it's nice to see Free take a game as well and show that, like I said, he is one of the 6 dragons, and he is more than capable of going toe to toe with Flash and proving it here. Very, very well played. Despite just a beautiful, it was really smart too. I think it all came down to Flash had this beautiful timing attack going in with the Vultures and the Marines and what have you in the early game, and Free was just like, well, you know what, I'm just gonna outsmart your timing attack with these 6 Dragoons and run them around instead of trying to defend my natural with them. I'm gonna run them around and cut off your reinforcements and play the long game. And it was an extremely smart move, and it takes a very baller player to pull something like that off. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. GG.